So, a much anticipated day. How was it?
Everything felt pretty good. It was definitely great to get back out there. It's always tough sitting out the first day of pads, but it was a planned thing, super deliberate in the way back. So we just wanted to be careful, and Tyron took the day today, so we weren't going to be on the same day off. So missing the first day of pads is definitely a little difficult, because I've been chomping at the bit to get back out here, but it was definitely a good feeling to be out today.
Did you find yourself kind of being cautious at all, or was it just full blow go?
No, to me it was full go, and the speed of things catches up with you, but it really did come back pretty quickly, so I was really happy with that.
Exhaustion and that kind of stuff, conditioning related stuff?
I'm sorry, sir?
Conditioning related issues or no?
No, I didn't feel anything. I've been working really hard to try and get back to the shape I needed to be in, and obviously coaches put us in the best position that they can be to get us back to that point to be ready.
Did the pads feel different when they're on again? Does it take a lot of use to them?
You know what, the pads did feel different. It's funny, I don't know what happened in the equipment room. My pads got lost, so I had new pads this year, so they're brand new. So they did feel a little bit different for that reason, but no, they didn't feel different in the fact that I was wearing pads. It feels really normal and feels kind of comfortable.
When did you find out they were lost?
During the spring, during OTAs, I started going through trying to figure out where everything was, and all of a sudden my pads were missing, so I had to start over. I don't know exactly what happened, but you know what? Now I'm sure I have a nicer, safer version of the pads, so it's good.
What does this landmark mean to you?
It's another day, There's going to be a lot of steps on the way back. There's been a lot of steps on the way to where we are now, and this is just another one. The first preseason game's another one. The first time you play after halftime is another one. I mean, it's just, they're all very little steps, and you do what you do to try and take advantage of those opportunities.
So you don't consider this a significant step or day? It's just one of the steps you have to take to where you're going?
I think it's just one of the steps, yeah. There have been days that have been, emotional and feel like a huge step, those days when I was able to hit my max on the squat. When I PR'd in the power cleans, those days, wondering whether or not I was going to be able to lift again, let alone hit my max numbers ever again. Those days were emotional, but today's a day that I just got a chance to come back out and play football, and playing football is something that I've been doing since I was 9 years old, so that's second nature.
Any flashbacks to what you went through last year and how you didn't feel right, or was this all just you were so happy to be out here and in the moment, none of that?
Yeah, I didn't have any of that. To me, the flashbacks come from the muscle memory of being out there, knowing, okay, this guy's in the A gap, where do I need to be? Oh, I need to set with my foot this way. And it's just all of those things that have become second nature from taking so many reps, and it really all just kicks back in.
So because everything's firing the way it should fire, you don't really think about how
Yeah, I think I really had to think about it more last year when things weren't firing than I had to now when it is. And that tells you that it's been so ingrained in the muscle memory that those things have become second nature, and when you don't have to think about it, that's when you can think about everything else that's going on, and there certainly is a lot of other things going on.
Travis, you look forward to competitive one-on-one pass rush drills?
I hate that drill, so I don't look forward to it at all. Honestly, the amount of times a center goes one-on-one in the NFL, probably about 1% of the time, maybe. So I hate the drill. I think it's really not great for centers, probably, or nose tackles. But it's something you do to try and get better, and you try and help our defenders get better as well. So
when would you do that drill, or when would you?
It's a good question. I'm not sure. That's something I think is probably a deliberate approach back from some of the other injuries, not so much the Guillain-Barré. Just trying to avoid one-on-one situations that things kind of are getting torqued in weird ways. We'll work back into the team and get used to that stuff first, and then probably work back into those drills.
You told us the other day that it's business as usual for you guys. There's no hard feelings when guys are doing what Zeke's doing.
Yeah.
He's in Cabo now. Does anything change? You guys pay attention? Even notice that he's somewhere else? So he's not, or is it just that he's not here?
Not at all. I'm a little jealous that he's in Cabo. That's a great place. But you saw what happened last time he went to Cabo. He came back and he was really ready to go, in really great shape. I've been to where he goes in Cabo. He's got a heck of a setup down there, so I'm certainly not worried about him being in any bad shape coming back.
You gonna meet him down there?
I hope not. That means I'm not playing here, so I hope not.
You still want him back, though, as soon as possible, right, to get that chemistry going between you guys and him, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want him back as soon as you can get him, but like I said before, he's got business to attend to, and luckily for me, I was never in that situation, but I certainly understand the business aspect of it. And it kind of goes back to those muscle memory things. We on the offensive line have the muscle memory. He's got the muscle memory. So when you've been working with somebody for that long, I think it clicks a little bit faster on the way back than it would if it's a brand new guy that needs to fit into the system. We need to learn him. He needs to learn us.
Shoulder felt okay?
Shoulder felt great. Yeah, everything really did feel good today. So I'm really happy. I'll make sure to go get some ice on it and stay ahead of the game. That's right.
We have the same pads, but just a different version. Same pads, or is there?
No, same thing. They're just brand new. It's like the first time you put on a pair of shoes, and they're just not really what you've had. You've been wearing them for 3 years, and they've been really broken.
Probably smell a
so
little
it'll come.
better though, right?
They smell a little better. Yeah, I'm sure the equipment guys are happy about that.
What do you remember about your state of mind last year when you were struggling a little more than usual and you still didn't know what was going on?
It was an interesting time because there was a lot of emotions going on there, and you don't really know what's going on, so you just try and fight through. The nature of a football player, and probably most professional athletes, is you fight through until you figure out that there's something that you shouldn't be fighting through. You get an MRI that says your knee's all torn up. Oh, well, maybe I shouldn't be, pushing through on this. So I was trying to figure it out, trying to make it work the best I could. And when you get the diagnosis, that kind of solidifies anything maybe in your mind that you were thinking of that was going on, and then it points you in the right direction of getting back, I guess.
Coach Garrett he touched on it a little bit the other day that you see things when you're looking at the film for the day and they don't seem quite right, and you're trying to kind of help a guy through it. Do you remember some of those conversations with coaches as you were trying to deal with it?
I very specifically remember conversations with some of the scouts, because out here, all the scouts are out here, and they watch every rep. It's not just every rep of team, it's every rep of individual. And when something goes wrong and the scout comes up and says, hey, things just don't look right, what's going on? And you tell them, you try and figure it out, you're trying to figure it out, and you get the diagnosis and they say, I knew something was wrong with you. Well, they could tell from the beginning. For me, I didn't know early. I thought maybe it was just something, and I didn't realize it was as bad as it was. But those guys have been trained to watch it and see it, and they could tell very early.
Travis, I asked Tyron yesterday about your communication on the line, and he said he's like a professor. Do you agree with that assessment, and why do you think your teammates think that?
I think professor is probably the wrong noun there. For me, it's probably more like a conductor. My job is to get everybody moving in the same direction. I'm trying not to teach people on the line, but in the meeting room, we try and work together the best we can to teach each other. But once we get out here, it's about making sure everyone's on the same page. It's about seeing any adjustments that are coming up. If you have to skip ahead a few bars in the music, you can get to that point.
Yeah, and it's still early in training camp for you, one padded practice, but have you seen anything that you're like, oh, I remember when I was on the headset last year, I figured that out, and now I'm applying it on the field?
I've been looking for those things. And a lot of it is defense dependent, and our defense does a lot of different things than what we were seeing. So I have been watching and looking at those keys and things, and it's helped, even in day one. But I think that will extend more towards other teams than ours.
And what moment stands out the most to you of being on the headset last season? Whether it was a play call or giving one of the guys.
I think to me it was just being able to see the dynamic of what goes on the headset on a game day, how different that is from our interactions with the coaches on a daily basis, because they're interacting just coach to coach, and seeing that side of the game, which is a whole different thing. When you talk about the play calling and the planning, how it all goes together versus actually executing that game plan.
All right, last one, guys. And when it first happened, he was on the practice getting beat. He's like, God, it just sucked.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever mind, like, have I lost it? What's going on? Or did that doubt?
It wasn't necessarily doubt that I had lost it. It was always just wondering, like, what's going on? My feet are numb, my hands are numb. I can't feel when I'm grabbing onto a guy. I don't have any balance. Like, what can I do to make this better? And so it was more about that than it was, man, why am I moving so? Because I had more of the, everyone's a little bit different with GBS, and I had more of the sensory nerve degeneration first before the motor nerve. And so if your motor nerves go first before your sensory nerves, you don't notice what's going on, you're just slowing down. So I think that's probably the case there.
All right, thank you, Travis. Thanks.